Another thing is avoiding small sample size bias. I think a lot of people get way too granular with the data on a weekly basis. If you look here, this is from last year. This is actual data from a client from February 3rd to the 9th. It's week 6 there. As you can see, we saw 4 conversions. That's a fairly low number, and questions might be asked of why are we down in conversions this week? But if we zoom out a little bit here, we can see that was actually their best month of the year. So the 1 week was just maybe a little slow, but if you're looking at that 1 week, you might think it's slow when it's really not slow as well. So you need to keep that context in there that things change over time, understand and not overreact, ask the questions, dive in, look at bigger sample sizes of data to make sure you stabilize your view on that. Because right here, right, 4 conversions might look low to you, and it's not necessarily bad in that scenario. And another way that can impact you is mature businesses and seasonality. If we look here, we can see we're down about 9% month over month in terms of e-commerce purchases, but we're up 13% from last year. A lot of people just look month over month, but if you're going into winter and you only sell or a summer product, you might not, your sales should probably naturally go down, right? But you can actually see you're doing a better job than last year. So that's actually growth. And if you step back and look at your data at that longer view, you can see here for this client, they have huge growth going into spring and into summer. And then towards as summer starts to get midsummer, it starts to drop down. And that's pretty consistent over this 2-year period. So if you look at that, you can understand as your business matures, what type of seasonal trends you should expect and not get overly worried if you see a month over month decrease. It might just be seasonality. Sometimes that's very obvious up front. Sometimes that's not as obvious. I think a lot of times, if you're B2B, companies might be very stingy with budgets end of year because they're trying to get their next year budgets approved. And after kind of the new year, they start spending money again and you see that money come through. You should be prepared about that if you know that. So looking at these bigger sample sizes of data can help answer if, this trend is just small and not necessarily not worth looking at, but like not telling the right story or you're misinterpreting it, or if it fits the bigger narrative and it is what you should expect.